Part 17. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 161. Very quickly, under the movements of Wu Lingyuan's 10 people, light and shadow were released one by one. The ancient seniors fight alone against the powerful men in the upper world. On what a low-key person Senior Huanggu is. When the great world of Dingtian is about to survive, the ancient seniors step forward too. Senior Huang cannot be allowed to bear all this alone. Videos of light and shadow appear one after another in the world. Originally, these 10 people were prominent figures in the Dingtian world. Although they did not have as many fans as Suju, each of them had hundreds of millions of fans, especially Chu Luying, whose number of fans was approaching 1 billion. After these videos were released, people in the Dingtian world soon saw them. Oh my god, it turns out that there is a strange phenomenon in our world of Dingtian. It is the powerful men from the upper world who are attacking again. Senior Huang deliberately concealed it because he did not want to cause us to panic, but he endured it all alone. I have been cultivating for 100,000 years, and I have never seen anyone as kind and righteous as Senior Huanggu. From now on, our Jiling sect is willing to make a statue of Senior Huanggu and worship it for generations to come. No wonder Senior Huanggu has been opening the dojo before, and I even suspected that Senior Huanggu had ulterior motives. Now it seems that I am too narrow-minded. I am willing to kneel down 3 times and kowtow 9 times to Senior Huanggu for luminous shadow, and ask for Senior Wang's help. Forgive. It's because we are too weak. Senior Huanggu helped us practice so much. In the end, only Senior Huanggu was still on the battlefield, but we were here to be happy and free. I felt guilty. After learning about the current situation of Dingtian world, everyone turned from awe to respect for the ancient emperor, and even the 4 words ancient emperor have become the belief in everyone's hearts. Some sects even immediately ordered that a statue of the ancient emperor should be sculpted inside the section. The first thing all disciples do every day is to kneel down and worship in front of the statue. If someone is absent, their cultivation level will be revoked directly. Expelled from the sect. At this moment, the Huanggu emperor became a hero believed by everyone in the Dingtian world. Suju naturally didn't know these things at this time. If she knew, she would probably be confused. I just deceive people to earn points, how can I become a hero? As for the person who protects the world of Dingtian and fights against the upper world, he just doesn't want anything to happen to his fans. After all, the death of a fan means that he loses a like. Soon half an hour passed, and the battle in the sky gradually stopped. But before there were 400,000 people, now there were less than 1,000 people left in the sky. Moreover, all of these 1,000 people were seriously injured, and coupled with such crazy explosive methods, they would not be able to fully recover for thousands of years. No, it's impossible. We did all this. Thousands of people who had regained their consciousness at this time looked at their hands covered with blood with disbelief. Some of the blood belonged to them, but most of it belonged to other people, including their relatives and friends. It's you. It was you who used sorcery to make us kill each other. Aoun's face turned pale and he roared out of breath. It has to be said that the luck of Li Tianhe, Manzhang, Xiao Hao and Aoun, all 4 of them are peak immortals, unexpectedly turned out during this fight. They all survived. But it was precisely because they were alive that they felt even more painful, because all the blood on their hands belonged to their own people. Especially Li Tianhe, who always liked to play with power and had never used his own hands to he has killed people before. But this time, the other party took action, and his hands were stained with an unknown amount of blood. It went against his path of cultivation. Even if the other party recovered from his injuries, he would still have inner demons and end up dead. End. It seems that the scene is over. Suju smiled slightly and did not deny it. We are all enemies. If you are unhappy, I will be happy. Everyone, come with me and kill this man. Boom. Li Tianhe gritted his teeth and roared angrily, and then the aura on his body exploded again, killing Suju crazily. Others were also furious and followed Li Tianhe to kill Suju. Master, this. Xiao Ling frowned and looked at Suju. Although there are only 1,000 people left now, the reason why these thousands of people survived is not only due to luck, but also because of their strength. Among the thousands of people, the ones with the lowest strength have reached the realm of Immortal Lord, and there are more than 60 powerful Immortal Emperors. Even if they are seriously injured, they still cannot be underestimated. But looking at the people who were attacking, Suju smiled slightly, not caring at all. When these 1,000 people were only 1,000 meters away from Suju, Suju spoke. Everyone kneel down. Ding dong, the host successfully used the kneel tactic of the three-word mantra. There were 1,230 targets. No one consumed 1,000 points, and the total consumption was 1,230,000 points. What happened? Why are my legs out of control? Could it be that the injury was too severe? It's strange, my body is also out of control. How on earth could this happen? As the system finished speaking, the faces of Li Tianhe and others who were heading towards Suju changed. They all bent their legs and fell in a straight line from a height of more than 1,000 meters to the ground. Bang bang bang. Ah! The next second, a series of roars sounded, accompanied by screams, and more than 1,000 people knelt on the ground. Although these people are all strong, after landing, their kneecaps were broken one after another. Even if they were not broken, they would sink 3 feet into the ground. What kind of magic did you use? I can't even get up. If you can, just kill us. Why use such methods to insult us? I have been practicing for hundreds of thousands of years, but you dare to make me kneel down. I want to kill you, cut you into pieces and eat you alive. More than 1,000 people had different reactions, but the same reaction was humiliation and the intention to kill Suju. Don't worry, I'm here to kill you. Suju smiled slightly and waved his right hand, and the purple dragon sword appeared in his hand. The purple dragon sword now has reached the immortal level, and the grade is not low. After all, the purple dragon has swallowed up the blood of many dragons before. What are you going to do? Don't come here, I don't want to die. Despite the harsh words of these people just now, when they saw Suju coming with a sword, everyone panicked. Especially people with high status and strength. Their current status and strength are hard won. They don't want to be buried in the ground and turned into a handful of loess. Suju did not stop, still with a faint smile on her face, and slowly walked towards the crowd, which made everyone feel even more stressed. Watching death coming towards me like this, even the immortal emperor cannot bear it. Stop. Rumble. At this moment, a roar sounded, 4 powerful auras suddenly burst out, and 4 figures also appeared in the sky. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 162. Is it finally out? Hearing the sound, Suju turned around and saw that there were 4 figures on the sky. However, after seeing these 4 figures, Suju smiled disdainfully. They turned out to be just clones. These 4 figures were naturally Li Yuan. The 4 of them saw that their men had woken up from the madness, and Suju's actions, they could no longer help but come to stop him. But although they wanted to stop Suju, Li Yuan and the 4 of them actually had a little fear in their hearts. Was afraid that Suju had other powerful means, so he made a clone appear. Father, save me, ha ha ha, kid, father is the peak immortal emperor, even more powerful than the immortal emperor. You are dead this time. Our sect master is also here. It has been many years since we have seen the powerful people from the 4 major forces take action together. Boy, it is your honor to die in the hands of the sect master and them today. Aren't you coming to kill us? Come here anyway. With the palace master and the others here, let me see if you still dare. When he saw Li Yuan and the others appearing, Li Tianhe, who was originally full of fear, became arrogant again. In their hearts, Suju is already a dead person this time and no one can save him. Noisy. Apoof. But just as a few people became happy, a shout rang out, and everyone spurted out a mouthful of blood, and everyone's eyes also showed shock, because the person who attacked them was not Suju, but Li Yuan. Li Tianhe couldn't understand what his father meant. Could it be that the person in front of him couldn't even deal with him? Xiao Hao and others were even more confused. Li Yuan actually attacked them despite attacking the people in the imperial court. The key was that his sect leader was still looking at them with a look of hatred for steel. This makes them really unable to understand. The ancient emperor, we have no grudges in the past and no grudges in recent times. Why do you want to stop my upper realm army? Zhou Guangyuan looked at Suju and asked coldly. It is a capital offense to disturb my pleasure. Suju said calmly. These words made Zhou Guangyuan and others' faces darken. This guy was too arrogant. He just disturbed the other party's elegance and actually wanted 400,000 of them to be buried with them. But even though they felt that Suju was too arrogant, but we must admit that the other party does have the capital to be arrogant. After all, the corpses below have not been collected yet. Fellow Daoist Huangwu, since our people have been punished, please let the remaining people go, Li Yuan said. Let it go? Okay, if you are not strict in discipline, then the four of you will kneel down and kowtow 3 times, and I will let these people go, Suju said with a smile. Boom. Emperor Huangwu, don't go too far. Hearing this, Ao Zifeng immediately became angry, and a powerful aura erupted. When had their Tianlong clan suffered such humiliation? Is this me going too far, or are you just afraid? You don't even dare to show up in your true form, and you dare to negotiate terms with me. Suju sneered, and walked directly to Ao Yuan's side. I won't let anyone go today. Laugh. Ah. Yuaner. After Suju finished speaking, a sword light lit up on the purple dragon sword, and as a scream rang out, Ao Yuan was beheaded in an instant, and Ao Zifeng's teeth were shattered in the sky. Do it. At this time, Li Yuan also snorted coldly, and the 4 of them suddenly burst out with strength and charged directly towards Suju. Did I ask you to come over? Certainly. Ding dong, the host successfully used the ding tactic of the 3-character mantra. Buzz. The next second, the 4 people who were heading towards Suju stopped in place, unable to move at all. What's going on? Why can't we move? The power of this ancient emperor is too powerful. In addition, we are just a clone now, so we can't fight against it at all. Doppelganger? I think even if the real person comes, he may not be this person's opponent. The 4 people looked gloomy. They did not expect that the ancient emperor's methods were so terrifying. With just one word, they could not move. At the same time, I was a little lucky that I didn't come directly, otherwise they would have been dead. Li Tianhe and others also looked at Suju blankly. Killed. The person in front of them actually dared to kill them, and he did so directly in front of their father, the emperor, and the sect master. Thinking of this, everyone who just thought they had saved their lives felt a chill rise again behind them, and their eyes looking at Suju were full of fear. How? Now that I have been killed, why don't you dare to take action? A bunch of trash. Suju looked at the 4 people with disdain, and then slowly came to Li Tianhe. Father, please save me. Please save me. My child doesn't want to die yet. Please save me. Seeing Suju coming in front of him, Li Tianhe was really panicked. As he spoke, the ground became wet, and the guy was frightened to the point of peeing. Unfortunately, although Li Yuan wanted to take action, he couldn't do it at this time. Unable to move. Emperor Huangwu, if you have any requests, just tell them, as long as you can let them go. Li Yuan said coldly. Didn't I say that if the four of you kneel down and kowtow 3 times, I will let you all go? Suju said again. You don't want to talk to us at all. Zhou Guanyuan shouted angrily, how could they be willing to kneel down and kowtow to a person from the lower world? I don't want to talk to you. It's obviously you who asked me. Suju said and looked at Li Tianhe again, with disgust in his eyes, so afraid of death? It's better to call me dad, maybe I can spare your life. Li Tianhe looked at his father who was unable to move, and it was impossible for him to come to save him. He also saw the long sword that was still bleeding in Suju's hand, and he quickly made a decision in his heart. Dad, my biological father, please spare your child's life. Bang bang bang. The next second, Li Tianhe kowtowed directly to Suju and begged for mercy, which made Li Yuan look gloomy. Why did Li Yuan give birth to such a useless son? Sorry, I don't have an unfilial son like you. Laugh. Well. Suju curled up the corner of his mouth and raised his sword after speaking. Li Tianhe's throat was cut instantly, blood spurted out, and finally he fell to the ground with eyes wide open and lost his life. You devil, don't come here. Sect Master, please save me, Senior, please spare me. As long as you spare my life, from now on I am willing to work as a horse for you. Please don't kill me. After killing Li Tianhe, Suju still didn't stop and walked towards the next target unhurriedly. Soon, screams were heard one after another. And Li Yuan and the other 4 could only watch the scene helplessly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 163. Amidst the screams, Suju also struck the last blow, killing more than 1,000 people. Boom. Damn it, I want to kill him. Zhou Guanyuan shouted angrily, the aura on his body was furious. He just watched his disciples being killed. How could he lose the face of his Taxian sect? But even though he said this, Zhou Guanyuan did not act and still stood. Not moving at the same spot, Li Yuan and others just looked at each other quietly. What are you looking at me for? Zhou Guanyuan asked coldly. Didn't Sect Master Zhou say he was going to kill Emperor Huangwu? We are waiting for him. Man Hai said lightly. Li Yuan and Ao Zifeng also nodded, which made Zhou Guanyuan stunned. He actually wanted to kill the Huangwu Emperor. With the methods shown by the Huangwu Emperor, I'm afraid it would be difficult for him to go alone. He's just looking for death. And usually when he says this, shouldn't others stop him and give him a way to get off? This time, they just ignored him. Humph, when our Taxian sect gathers its strength, we will definitely go to the demon world and skin the ancient emperor. Zhou Guanyuan put down his harsh words and sat down obediently in his seat, leaving Li Yuan and others speechless. This ancient emperor is very capable. If we act rashly, we will just die, Li Yuan said. So can't we just let him go? Zhou Guanyuan said unhappily. Li Yujing looked at the other party quietly. If you don't want to let him go, just go ahead. Although we can't kill him back now, it seems that the ancient emperor has no intention of coming to the upper world, and he is probably afraid. This also means that this person is not invincible. As long as we find a way, we can definitely kill him, Li Yuan continued. It makes sense, but is there any way to kill this person without fail? Ao Zifeng asked with a frown. A gleam flashed in Li Yuan's eyes. I wonder if you all still remember the gods. As soon as these words came out, several people were slightly stunned. Gumwun, who had not spoken until now, was shocked. Could it be that Diting is really a minion of the gods? Gods? Naturally, I remember that this is one of the three major heavenly clans. However, many years ago, during the war between the three clans, didn't all the gods disappear? Zhou Guangyuan asked. The gods have indeed disappeared, but they still leave behind many powerful means. Li Yuan said, after the war between the three clans, the reason why our imperial court was able to annihilate the demon clan was because the gods provided clues and gave many treasures. This was the reason why we succeeded. So, your imperial court still has the treasures left behind by the gods. Ao Xifen narrowed his eyes and asked. Back then, Li Yuan wiped out the demon clan and rose to power, which made them envious. It turned out that he relied on the help of the gods. Of course, it is also the foundation of our imperial court. It is not that easy for me to take it out so easily. You all have to pay some price. Yuan sneered. These words gave everyone a chill. They knew that it was definitely not that simple when Li raised this matter. What do you want? Ao Xifen asked coldly. I don't want much, just look at it. Li Yuan said, and with a wave of his right hand, a spiritual talisman appeared in front of Zhou Guangyuan and the others, and the conditions of the imperial court were recorded in the talisman. What? You actually want me, the heavenly dragon clan, to give your imperial court a pure-blooded dragon every 10 years? Li Yuan, don't go too far. The Taxian order is the most precious treasure of our Taxian section. It records all the spells of our Taxian section. It is absolutely impossible for you to observe them. The Emperor's court really has a big appetite, and he actually fell in love with the barbaric spirit technique of my barbaric palace. When they saw the conditions proposed by Li Yuan, Zhou Guangyuan, and the other three had cold expressions on their faces. The other party was taking advantage of the situation. This emperor just put forward conditions. As for whether you agree or not, it all depends on you. After all, the ancient emperor has not come to the upper world yet, so you still have time to think. Li Yuan said jokingly, if we wait until he comes to kill us, the imperial court has a way to save our lives. As for you, I have no obligation to help you. Hearing this, Zhou Guangyuan and the others felt a murderous intention in their hearts. This was to force them to a dead end. Originally, the combined forces of the three parties were enough to check and balance the imperial court. But once they agreed to Li Yuan's request, which means that their confidence is gone, and sooner or later they will be annexed by the imperial court. But if they don't agree, and the ancient emperor really comes to kill them, won't they have no choice but to wait for death? Everyone, please decide for yourself how to consider it. After Li Yuan finished speaking, he waved his right hand and left with everyone in the imperial court. This Li Yuan is really cold-blooded. His son just died and he acted as if nothing happened. He actually paid attention to our heads. Is there anything strange about this? He, Li Yuan, doesn't have many other things, he just has many sons. What's the big deal if one of them dies? But what should we do now? Can we just follow Li Yuan's wishes? After Li Yuan and others left, Zhou Guangyuan and the others frowned and started discussing. Gum Weiyun next to him didn't stay too long. He said something to the three of them and left. Dingtian big world. Is this the end of the show? Suju looked at the four figures disappearing in the sky, with some surprise in his eyes. He also prepared many means to meet these guys, but he didn't expect to leave directly. It seems that these powerful people are not as important as he thought. Emotion. It's okay to leave, but keep some means for emergencies. Suju thought secretly, and moved back to the chair and lay down. Xiao Ling continued to serve him. This time he used many methods to finally withstand the siege of the powerful men in the upper world. I believe that in a short time, people from the upper world don't dare to come here anymore. These guys really lost their wives and soldiers. The upper realm consumed countless resources, causing the rules of heaven and earth to improve in the Dingtian world, and lost another 400,000 strong men, but in the end got nothing. If it were him, he would have been pissed to death. The ancient emperor, the people from the upper world have left. The voice of the world spirit sounded in Suju's mind. Suju nodded without saying a word. By the way, the Eldar people are looking for you again. Suju was stunned. What was the spirit clan looking for at this time? Did they have any information? Bring him here. Buzz. After Suju finished speaking, a figure soon appeared in front of Suju. Gumweun of the Spirit Clan paid homage to the Lord and congratulated him for defeating the powerful men from the upper world with his peerless power. Gumweun said and knelt directly in front of Suju, his eyes full of respect. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the Emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 164. Let's talk directly. Is there any news from the upper world? Looking at Gumweun, Suju asked. It stands to reason that after he killed so many people, the big guys in the upper world would just forget about it for no reason. My lord, Li Yuan and the others really have no intention of giving up. Then Gumweun told what he knew. Suju was also a little surprised after hearing this. The method of the gods. Do you know what method it is? Suju asked curiously. I don't know this either, but the reason why the demons were easily destroyed back then must be because Li Yuan used the methods of the gods. Suju suddenly thought of the source gathering formation he saw in the golden spirit demon horn. Hundreds of thousands of demon corpses were placed in the formation. Before, he thought that this formation was created by the imperial court, but now it seems, most likely related to the gods. Are the gods still in the upper realm? Suju thought secretly. Okay, I understand. Suju waved her hand and said. Lord, don't we kill to reach the upper realm? Gumweun asked doubtfully. Now that the four major powers have been damaged, once this news comes out, people in the upper world will definitely be unstable, and someone will definitely have ideas. If they attack the upper world again at this time, there will definitely be countless people in response. The four major forces will be directly overthrown by then. When did I say that I wanted to enter the upper realm? Suju said calmly, if I really wanted to destroy the four major forces and fight the upper world alone, I would have gone there in person long ago. Do I still need to wait for them to use Lingtian's secret technique? Is it unnecessary? Gumweun was stunned. He hadn't thought of this before, because he didn't believe that Suju had the means to kill the four major forces. But today he saw the whole process, and maybe the other party really has the strength to sweep across the upper world. Lord, what should we do now? Gumweun asked. What do you mean? If they keep to themselves, I will disdain to pay attention to them, but if they dare to cause trouble again, I will not mind destroying them, Suju said. Gumweun nodded, said a few more words to Suju, and then left. It's a bit interesting. The aliens from the gods are probably not simple. After Gumweun left, Suju curled up his lips. The reason why he didn't kill the upper realm was because he had some considerations in mind. Although he still has many powerful means in his hands, but he wants to destroy the four major forces by relying on these means. There are still some difficulties. Although the invincible order is powerful, there is only one chance to use it now. If he uses the invincible order to kill the four major forces, and the gods run out again, wouldn't he have no means of saving his life? It was precisely with this in mind that he did not kill the upper realm and waste the invincible order in vain. According to Gumweun, the three forces of Taxian sect will not agree to the emperor's request so easily. I still have enough time to prepare. Suju thought, waved her right hand, and made Xiao Lingli laugh. Senior Huanggu, all the corpses have been collected. An hour later, 10 people from Wu Lingyuan also came to Suju. Suju looked around and found that there were no corpses left, and under the methods of the 10 people, there was not even a trace of blood. That's good, you can go back. Suju waved his hand, and a space crack appeared in front of everyone. Boom. Senior, we are willing to serve you in this life. If there is another crisis in the Dingtian world, we are not willing to watch Senior bear it alone. But Wu Lingyuan and others knelt down on one knee and said sincerely. Suju was stunned. I just asked you to collect a corpse, is it necessary to add drama to yourself? You are still too weak. If you want to help me, then practice hard. Suju said. Wu Lingyuan and others nodded, no longer pretentious, turned around and stepped into the space crack and left here. You can earn some more points. Suju thought and opened the system. He had recorded the entire process this time and only needed to edit it. It took more than an hour for Suju to edit all the videos. There were 3 segments in total. Earn 3 points. Ding dong, please host name your video. The strong man from the upper realm strikes again 1. The strong man from the upper world strikes again 2. The strong man from the upper realm strikes again 3. Ding dong, the video was named successfully and the video is released. Suju nodded with satisfaction. When he opened the video, he found that someone had already started commenting. The ancient predecessors were benevolent and righteous, and we are willing to follow them from generation to generation. It seems that Senior Huanggu has defeated the powerful man from the upper realm again. If it weren't for Senior Huanggu, we really don't know what we would have done. If the general hadn't told them in advance, we wouldn't have known that Senior Huanggu was so low-key, fighting against the powerful men in the upper world alone for us. Looking at these comments, Suju was stunned. It seemed that these guys already knew the meaning of these words. After browsing Wanja for a while, he soon found several videos posted by Wu Lingyuan. The number of likes and comments on the photos posted by these 10 people is not low, and they are all commenting on his low-key behavior and praising his virtues and achievements. It turns out that these guys released the light and shadow in advance. Suju smiled and didn't care, because he found that the effect of some things when others said them was far better than when he said it. If others said it, they were praising him. If he said it himself, on the contrary, he was suspected of boasting. Especially after seeing some sect leaders even announcing the worship of light and shadow in his statue, Suju knew that this time he really made all the creatures in the Dingtian world surrender to him. I don't know when the demon tribe will come out. With the demon tribe, my number of likes can be doubled, and I have to find a way to make the Eldar tribe my fans. Suju thought secretly. The matter of the spirit clan cannot be rushed now. After all, the God clan has not shown up yet, and he does not know what powerful means the God clan has. At least the God clan must be solved before the spirit clan can join the 10,000 realms. Next, it depends on how much time dieting gives me to prepare. Suju thought and closed her eyes. In a space in the upper world. But who is this ancient emperor? A man asked, looking at the 2 people below. There is no specific news yet, and I have never heard of the ancient emperor before. It's like he appeared out of thin air. Could he be from that place? If it was really someone from that place, that would be great. This person must know where the entrance is. However, this person has good skills, so it may be difficult to capture it, the man said. Now, doesn't the imperial court want to deal with the ancient emperor? Just let the imperial court die. The man shook his head. Zhou Guangyuan and the others will not easily agree to the conditions of the imperial court. Now that the ancient emperor has not come to the upper world to force him, the imperial court should not take action against the emperor in the short term. Sir, if the real ancient emperor didn't come to the upper world, wouldn't the fake ancient emperor come? Hearing this, the man's eyes lit up, and then he smiled. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 165. Ding dong, the exchange store has been refreshed successfully, please check it yourself. Suju, who was sleeping, heard the sound and opened her eyes directly. Finally, it was time to wait. I don't know what's good this time. Suju thought about it and opened the exchange store to check it out. God's order, a one-time item. After using this item, you can summon a god, which lasts for 1 hour and costs 10 million points. When Suju saw the first item, he suddenly lost his sleepiness. Not to mention the effect, Suju was surprised by the price alone, which was 10 million points. This thing is definitely the most expensive thing he has seen so far. System, how strong is this god? Suju asked curiously. The powerful immortal emperor is like an ant in front of the gods. Suju's eyes lit up. The immortal emperor was actually just an ant. So how powerful is this god? Doesn't this mean there is another invincible order? Suju thought secretly. Nowadays, the strongest people in the Dingtian world and the upper world are only the immortal emperors. Who can stop this god's order? With this divine order, there is an extra layer of protection. Suju nodded with satisfaction. Although 10 million points is a bit expensive, it is definitely worth it. Bought. Ding dong, the host spent 10 million points and successfully purchased the god token. As the system rang, Suju also had an extra token in his hand. Looking at his points, he still had more than 24 million left. Putting away the god's order, Suju looked at the remaining 3 items. Emperor Pill, taking it can break through to the realm of the immortal emperor. It can be taken by the 9th grade immortal venerable. 8 million points. Tianzi, a one-time spell that can be used on a world. After using it, all creatures in that world will unconditionally be promoted to a greater realm, worth 2 million points. Holy Yuan Jade, incomplete, there are 2 pieces, the specific effect is unknown, 10 million points. Looking at the remaining 3 items, Suju frowned. The Emperor Pill is a good thing. Now he is in the realm of the 9th grade immortal lord. After taking this pill, he can directly break through to the realm of the immortal emperor. Although 8 million points is a bit expensive, Suju will definitely not let it go. Otherwise, if he practiced at his own speed, it would probably not take him tens of thousands of years to reach the realm of the immortal emperor. But Tian's one-time technique puzzled Suju the most. This technique can be said to be very abnormal. It can actually elevate all living beings in a world to a great level. This is something that even the spirit of the world cannot do. The price of such a perverted technique is only 2 million. System, is the price of this Tian's technique missing a zero? Suju couldn't help but ask. If this technique cost 20 million points he could understand it, but 2 million is too little. Host, this spell is useless to you, and the right item means it has no value. Only after hearing the system's explanation, Suju understood. She didn't expect the system to do this. System, if it works for me, are you prepared to give me less points? Suju asked with a smile. 2 billion. Hearing this price, Suju almost vomited blood. All the points he has earned so far do not add up to 2 billion. Still of no use to me. Suju shook his head. He is not far behind a big realm. As for the last piece of Saint Yuan Jade, since the system has not given an introduction, it means that it is a system item and should be used under special circumstances. Will trigger. Let's buy them all first. Ding dong, the host spent 8 million points and successfully purchased the Emperor Pill. Ding dong, the host spent 2 million points and successfully purchased Tian's. Ding dong, the host spent 10 million points and successfully purchased the Saint Yuan Jade. After all the expenses, no more, no less, exactly 30 million points, and Suju only had 4 million points left in his account. It's really easy to spend money, but it's hard to make money. Suju shook his head. After putting everything away, he entered the shilling tower directly. At the same time, he took out the Emperor Pill, took it and started practicing. In the demon realm. Rumble. With a burst of thunder and lightning, The originally silent demon world suddenly became lively. Swish. At this time, a golden light flashed, and the golden magic horn was seen cutting through the space and appearing in the demon world. He he he. The next second, countless space cracks appeared around the demon world. Through these space cracks, you can see a large amount of space turbulence raging. Buzz. But at this moment, in the turbulence of these spaces, figures appeared one after another, passing through the cracks and returning to the demon world. These figures have different looks and shapes, but they all have one thing in common, that is, they are born with double horns. Various runes are engraved on the horns. The more runes they have, the stronger their power is. Ha ha ha, my demon clan is back. Rumble. As a shout rang out, a huge figure 3 meters high appeared. As the figure landed, the entire ground collapsed within a kilometer radius, and violent power roared in the demon world. The blood imprisonment of our demon clan has finally been completely released. The imperial court and the gods will all tremble under the feet of our demon clan. The blood debt of that year must be paid back thousands of times by my demon clan. At this time, several more voices sounded, all of them were powerful demon generals from the demon clan at that time. Now that their bloodline restrictions have been completely released, their strength has also been greatly improved. At first, they only had the realm of Tianzun, but now they have all reached the realm of Immortal. The power of other demons has also increased, and the weakest ones have reached the realm of earthly immortals. Buzz. While everyone was talking, the golden demon horn suspended in the sky in front suddenly sent out a wave of energy, and an invisible pressure fell on everyone in the demon clan. Everyone knelt on the ground with pious expressions on their faces. At this moment, the light above the golden spirit demonic horn became strong, and a figure slowly appeared. If Suju were here, he would definitely recognize it as Anita. At this time, there are also double horns above Anita's head, but unlike others, these two horns are entangled in the turbulent flow of space, with occasional faint golden light flashing, and the runes on them are more complicated than those of everyone present. I'm waiting to meet the princess. Immediately afterwards, all the demon clan members shouted in unison and knelt down to Anita. Get up, everyone. Anita raised her hand, and the pressure on everyone disappeared. Before the demons released the bloodline imprisonment, all demons' bloodlines were equal. But now that the bloodline imprisonment has been released, naturally they are divided into 3, 6, and 9. Among the tens of billions of demons, only Anita has the blood of the royal family. The invisible pressure just now is the imperial power of the royal family _. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 166. From today on, I, Anita, am the demon emperor of the demon clan. I am in charge of the demon clan. I will definitely lead the demon clan again and return to the peak of the demon clan. Boom. Anita said, and her right hand landed on the golden spirit demon horn. The demon royal aura exuding from her body made the other person suddenly feel like the master of this world. Welcome the demon emperor and return to the top. The demon clan members roared with excitement in their eyes. Anita nodded with satisfaction. She was able to intimidate everyone in the demon clan, not only because she has the blood of the demon clan royal family, but also because her realm has reached the level of the immortal emperor. Then she added, after saying some words, Anita put away the demonic sacred object, the golden spirit demonic horn, and returned to the demonic tower with 8 demonic generals. Now that the imprisonment of our demon bloodline has been released, what do you think we should do next? Anita asked, looking at the 8 people below. Lord Demon Emperor, now that we have released the bloodline shackles and improved our strength, we naturally need revenge, enter the upper world, and destroy the imperial court. How could the imperial court be so easy to destroy? The demons back then were much stronger than we are now, but they were still destroyed by the imperial court. Although we have become stronger now, if we go to the imperial court, we will die. Yes, we have become stronger, but the imperial court has also become stronger over the years. We must not act rashly, otherwise the demons may make the same mistake again. Anita frowned after hearing everyone's words. She also knew that although seeking revenge from the imperial court was the most important thing, they did not have the strength yet. Moreover, many people have just released their bloodline imprisonment and have not fully controlled their own power. Going there is almost like sending death. Lord Demon Emperor, the Lord said before that the powerful people from the upper world will use Lingtian's secret technique to kill them again. Why don't we go to the Lord now? When the people from the upper world come to kill us, we can also help. The so-called Lord, that is, the ancient emperor, they had already recognized Suju as their Lord. Well, now that the strength of our demon tribe has greatly increased, we are no longer useless in the eyes of the Lord. You follow me and go to the Lord now and let the Lord make a decision. Anita said, and everyone disappeared. The realm of the immortal emperor is indeed powerful. If it weren't for the help of the emperor's pill, it would have taken at least 10,000 years for me to reach such a realm just by practicing on my own. Suju felt the surging power in his body, and his eyes were filled with smiles. Just now, he had completely refined the emperor's pill and reached the level of a first-level immortal emperor. Even he himself felt abnormal at this speed of cultivation. Of course, the key is that he used the heaven-seizing fortune talisman well before, and directly broke through from the true immortal to the immortal realm. Having broken through to the immortal emperor level, we can now wait for the people in the upper world to cause trouble again. Thinking about it, Suju left the shilling tower, but outside, she found 9 figures standing not far away. I will wait to see the Lord. When they saw Suju, these people knelt down one after another. It was the Anita 9. Suju was stunned for a moment, and then he recognized it after carefully distinguishing it. It seems that your bloodline imprisonment has been released. Suju said with a smile, but was a little surprised in his heart. He used a heaven-seizing fortune talisman to break through to the immortal Lord, and then added an emperor pill to achieve the immortal emperor realm. But these 9 people in front of him, all of them are powerful immortals, especially Anita, who has reached the level of a 3rd-level immortal emperor. This realm is even higher than him. As expected of one of the 3 major heavenly clans, he has become so strong after being freed from his bloodline shackles. Suju secretly smacked his tongue. If these guys hadn't had their bloodline sealed and were cultivating normally, I'm afraid all of them would have reached the realm of the immortal emperor. Thanks to the blessing of the Lord, if it were not for the Lord's help, it would be impossible for us to break the bloodline imprisonment. Anita stepped forward and said. Suju nodded and asked carefully. Then he realized that the demons today are indeed different from the original ones. The demons were born in the turbulence of space, and they are born with the ability to control turbulence. Ability, but because of different strengths, the degree of control is also different. Royal families like Anita can create space turbulence at will. If they are exposed to space turbulence, they are basically equivalent to immortality. Existence, unless the enemy is so powerful that it can easily destroy the space turbulence. Now that your bloodline shackles have been released, what's the matter with coming here this time? Suju asked. Your Majesty, after we unlocked the bloodline imprisonment, we also learned what happened to the demons back then, and we have unsworn hatred with the imperial court. Your Majesty said before that the upper world would use Lingtian's secret technique to kill them. Now we having released the bloodline shackles and gained some strength, I wanted to share my worries with the body master and kill these people. Anita stepped forward and said. Suju was stunned. Are these guys here to help resist the people from the upper world? But. Suju frowned and was about to speak, but was interrupted by Anita. Your Majesty, we know that the strength of the demon clan is still not comparable to that of the powerful ones in the upper realm, but it can still block some of them. Please agree with it, Your Majesty. Please give your permission, Lord. Anita said, and all 9 of them knelt down, looking at death. Suju twitched the corner of her mouth. These guys are quite diligent in dying. It's not that I don't agree with you, it's that you came late. The people from the upper world came yesterday and were all killed by me. Suju shrugged and said. Kill them all? Hearing this, Anita and others paused slightly. So, they have missed it? Lord Demon Emperor, look at the light and shadow of the Lord in the 10,000 worlds. We seem to have really missed it. At this time Nivelle said, Anita and others opened the world one after another, and soon found the light and shadow released by Suju. After looking at the light and shadow, Anita was stunned again. Originally, they had become stronger, but I thought it would be useful, but I didn't expect that it would be late in the end. Okay, you go back first. The people in the upper world will not give up. I am afraid they will attack again soon. When the time comes, I hope to see the abilities of your demons. Suju waved her hand and said. Don't worry, Lord, we will surely go through fire and water. Now that they have missed it, Anita and others were helpless but had no choice, so they left. Ding dong, the time for the video likes ranking list has expired, please check the host. Before long, the system's voice sounded. Suju also selected rewards for the people on the ranking list, and his points reached 10 million again. Now that the demons have returned, let's transfer another point. Suju thought, then turned on the recording function, and soon a video was posted to Wanja_. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the Emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 167. Look, Senior Huanggu has released a new light and shadow. In this light and shadow, Senior Huanggu said that there will be a ray of light. By then, all the creatures in our entire Dingtian world and the demon world will be promoted. Real or fake? Does Senior Huanggu still have such powerful means? It must be true. When did Senior Huanggu deceive us? Go and prepare. Tomorrow at noon, Senior Huanggu will descend on Tians. Soon, the video posted by Suju was seen by everyone. This video is very simple. It is a notice that at noon tomorrow, he will descend from Tians, causing all living beings in the 2 realms to ascend. Since he is going to use Tian's technique, Suju will naturally get into trouble. If he releases a video then, he will get points. Unexpectedly, the Lord still remembered our demons and sent an order to all the demons to be prepared. Tomorrow, we must fully appreciate the Tians descended by the Lord. Anita passed down the order. Now that their demons have released their bloodline imprisonment, their strength has far exceeded that of Dingtian Great World, and they are no longer in the mood to compete with the creatures of Dingtian Great World. But since Tians has their demons naturally, they would not miss it. For a time, the world of Dingtian and the demon realm became lively. All the monks were burning incense and bathing, and they had prepared various treasures to enhance their understanding, just so that Tians could tomorrow get more opportunities. Of course, if they knew that Tians was fair to everyone, they probably wouldn't be so excited. The lower world is so lively, and the upper world is equally lively. Within Taxian sect. What? Immortal Emperor Gao Ming is dead. Zhou Guangyuan asked as he looked at the elders of the sect with a surprised expression. This is already the 3rd powerful immortal emperor to die in their Taxian sect since their trip to the lower world. The sect leader, Immortal Emperor Gao Ming, was pierced through the soul with a sword, and the body of Immortal Emperor Gao Ming who was killed still left a word of wild. The great elder said hurriedly. It's the ancient emperor, he must be this person. I didn't expect that he would secretly attack our people. Is this a warning to us, or is he telling us in advance that he is going to kill us and come to the upper world? Zhou Guangyuan frowned. These days, he has been thinking about the conditions proposed by Li Yuan. He originally wanted to delay and find other ways. But now the strong men of their Taxian sect are dying one by one. If this continues, what will happen? Before the imperial court launched an attack, they had already been killed by the ancient emperor. Great Elder, how are the other three forces doing? Zhou Guangyuan narrowed his eyes and asked. He is not stupid. Although there is a word Huang on the dead immortal emperor, he does not completely think that it was the Huanggu emperor who did it. Maybe it was the emperor's court who oppressed them, so that's why we used such coercive measures. Sect Master, the other three major forces also had powerful immortal emperors die tragically. 2 people died in the imperial court, 3 people died in the wilderness palace, and 2 people died in the demon spirit valley, the great elder said hurriedly. Zhou Guangyuan frowned. Diting also died? Wasn't it the fault of Diting? Sect Master, now that the imperial court has recalled all those above the immortal king realm and are protected by a defensive formation, I am afraid that only the imperial court can stop this ancient time. The great elder spoke again. Zhou Guangyuan gritted his teeth. Do they really have to hand over their Taxian order? This sect will mainly discuss this matter with the other 2 people. You can go down first. Zhou Guangyuan waved his hand and said. The elder nodded and walked outside, but when he left, the corner of his mouth curled up. It seems that this Taxian order cannot be kept. Zhou Guangyuan sighed, and the room became silent. Time passed and it was the next day. While everyone in the Dingtian world and the demon world were waiting, noon also arrived. Today, Suju was wearing a blue robe. With long hair shawl, looking like a worldly expert. It's almost time, system, use Tians. Suju said with a smile. Ding dong, please host choose Tian's sway. After the system finished speaking, 3 options appeared in front of Suju, namely the low-profile version, the high-profile version and the deluxe version. Get the deluxe version. Suju didn't hesitate. Since he wanted to make things bigger, of course he would do it as big as he wanted. Ding dong, host selection is successful, Tian starts. Rumble. After the system finished speaking, Suju saw a dazzling golden light burst out from the sky, and then the world collapsed. In Suju's surprised eyes, hundreds of golden dragons with a length of thousands of feet leaped out from the clouds. Roar. Dang dang. As hundreds of heavenly dragons roared one after another, and then the sound of bells rang, 10 black unicorns appeared dragging an extremely luxurious sedan. Chirp. Before Suju could react, another phoenix cry sounded, and thousands of phoenixes appeared instantly. As expected of the deluxe version, this scene is a bit big. Ding dong, invite the host to sit on the sedan, Tian's is about to begin. Suju nodded with satisfaction, and then with a thought, she came to the sedan. Looking at these mythical beasts around him, Suju was also frightened. Who would have thought that so many mythical beasts were just to clear the way for him to carry his sedan chair? Ding dong, Tian's begins. Roar. After the system finished speaking, the 100-headed celestial dragon roared again, the sound pierced the sky, and all the creatures in the Dingtian world and the demon world heard it. What's the situation? It seemed to be the roar of the dragon clan just now, but today is the day when Senior Huanggu comes to Tian's. What do the dragon clan call them when they have nothing to do? Who knows, we should just close our eyes and rest our minds. Now noon is almost here, and Tian's will fall soon. This time I must break through to the Lord Tian's. You, look at the sky, what is that? While everyone was talking, they exclaimed there was a sudden sound, and everyone looked to the sky with curiosity. I saw streaks of colorful light appearing on the sky, and in the light, there were hundreds of heavenly dragons clearing the way, unicorns carrying sedans, and thousands of phoenixes singing in unison. Then, isn't that Senior Huanggu? Look, everyone, the person sitting in the sedan chair is none other than Senior Huanggu. Oh my God, I didn't expect that I would be able to see such a grand scene in my lifetime. I am worthy of being an ancient senior. There are so many mythical beasts under my seat. Don't be stunned. Senior Huang is descending to Tian's. Let's practice quickly. Don't let Senior Huang live up to his good intentions. When they saw Suju's appearance, everyone exclaimed in surprise, but some wise ones began to close their eyes and practice. Looking at the people below, Suju nodded with satisfaction, then waved his right hand, and golden light fell from the sky. When it fell on the monks on the ground, the realm of these monks also broke through. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 168. The effect of Tian's lasted for a day. Within this day, Suju also visited the entire Dingtian world and the demon world. Wherever they passed, the creatures improved their cultivation one after another. Even the desolate western desert turned from a desert into an oasis, producing many natural and earthly treasures. Finally got it done. Until the next morning, Suju returned to the Taoist temple. At first, he found it very novel, but then he felt bored. Then, Suju made a video of some of his experiences on the road and posted it to the world of all realms. And soon there were a lot of comments. Thanks to Senior Huang for descending to Tian's, I directly broke through a great realm and now have reached the realm of earthly immortal. I didn't expect that Senior Huang's Tian's was so rich that it allowed all of us to break through to a great level. It's really unprecedented. Senior Huanggu has been so kind to us, and we have nothing to repay. This life belongs to Senior Huanggu. Seeing these comments, Suju was already used to it. He might have snickered before, but now he is used to it. The most important thing is that he earned points. Emperor Huanggu, I didn't expect you to have such means. Even the spirit of this world like me doesn't dare to say that you can bring down such a large area of Tians. The voice of the world spirit sounded in Suju's mind. The world spirit was completely convinced. What he could do, the ancient emperor could also do. What he couldn't do, the ancient emperor could also do. Let his sense of existence as a world spirit has become much lower. I am just expressing my feelings and it is not worth mentioning. Suju waved her hand and said. The world spirit is a little speechless. Isn't this not worth mentioning? Then my world spirit is really a waste. By the way, is there any news from the upper world? Suju asked. A few days have passed. Gumweun said that the imperial court has the means of the gods, and he doesn't know what the situation is now. That's not clear yet, huh? Just as people from the spirit tribe are here, you can ask yourself. Buzz. The world spirit said, and Gumweun's figure appeared in front of Suju. Gumweun of the spirit clan pays homage to the Lord. Gumweun looked at Sujudeo. No need to be polite, just tell me, what happened in the upper world? Suju asked. My lord, have you not gone to the upper world recently? Gumweun asked. What's wrong? Suju was confused. Lord, just a few days ago, powerful immortal emperors fell from the imperial court, Taxian sect, Manhuang Palace, and the four forces one after another, and the fallen people were also inscribed with the word Huang, so, Gumweun stopped talking. Suju smiled coldly, there are still people who dare to use my name to kill people. So, the Lord has not gone to the upper world? Suju nodded, if I had gone to the upper realm, the four major forces would be gone now. Gumweun nodded with the same feeling. Also, with the Lord's temperament, if he really went to the upper realm, naturally they will kill directly at the door. Why use this method of hiding in Tibet to assassinate the powerful immortal emperor? Could it be that the imperial court did it? This imperial court is really cruel, even killing its own people, Gumweun said. These people died, and the one who benefited the most was the imperial court. He had to doubt. I don't care who did it, but after this incident, I'm afraid the four major forces should have united together, right? Suju asked with a smile. The Lord's guess was correct. Just now, his subordinates received news that Zhou Guangyuan and the three of them had gone to the emperor's court. Now a deal should have been reached. It is believed that the emperor's court will take action again soon and take action against the Lord Guangyuan said. Find out where they will gather. Although I don't want to take action, some lessons are inevitable. Suju said lightly. Guangyuan nodded, and then left. Suju looked at the sky. Since the imperial court was so confident, then he would destroy the imperial court. When the imperial court is destroyed, the gods standing behind it should also stand up, right? Suju thought secretly. Now he is still not sure whether the gods are really standing behind the imperial court, but if the emperor is destroyed, the gods will definitely show their flaws. Upper realm, imperial court. Father, did those three old guys agree? Li Tianyuan looked at Li Yuan and asked. After these days of cultivation, Li Tianyuan has recovered his strength and has also broken through to the realm of the immortal emperor, which can be regarded as a blessing in disguise. How could they agree so easily, but we already have an agreement. After we destroy the ancient emperor, they will hand over what they want, Li Yuan said. Father, what if they don't pay after the matter is completed? Li Tianyuan asked with a frown. Li Yuan sneered, no, it's not up to them. Our imperial court has long had the strength to destroy the three of their forces, but the time was not ripe before. If they didn't obey, they would be destroyed. Li Tianyuan nodded, and then seemed to remember something. By the way, Father, this ancient emperor is the one who went to the forbidden secret place to snatch the secret treasure. Li Tianyuan said. Yeah? This ancient emperor is not simple. Before, we only speculated that the secret treasure was extraordinary, but now that the other party has also made a move to snatch it, it must not be underestimated. Fortunately, this secret treasure will eventually return to our hands, Li Yuan said. He had speculated that the secret treasure was snatched away by the ancient emperor. Now it seems that it is true. Father, my son is willing to go and kill the ancient emperor, not only to avenge his third brother, but also to show prestige for our imperial court. Li Tianyuan knelt down and said. Even if you don't tell me, I will send you there. There are not many methods left in this protoss, so don't waste it, Li Yuan said. Father, don't worry, the child will definitely live up to his destiny. Li Yuan nodded with satisfaction, a cold light flashed in his eyes. The great ancient emperor? If you dare to go against their imperial court, you will definitely die without a burial place. In the mysterious space. Sir, according to your instructions, everything has been settled. Now the three major forces have reached an agreement with the imperial court. As long as the imperial court destroys the ancient emperor, they will hand over what the imperial court wants. The man nodded with satisfaction, that's good. As for the imperial court, once this ancient emperor is killed, there is no need to keep it. By the way, sir, something about the entrance is somewhat unclear. The entrance was indeed in the upper realm back then. However, due to the war between the three major heavenly clans, the upper realm collapsed and the entrance disappeared. As long as we give it some more time, we will definitely be able to investigate it. Entrance place. Well, we don't have much time, we have to hurry up. The man said, and the space fell into silence again. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 169. In front of Suju's Taoist temple, Anita stood respectfully and poured tea for Suju. Your Majesty, what's the matter with calling your subordinates? Anita looked at Suju and asked curiously. She had been here for a while, but Suju didn't say anything. She really couldn't hold it back, so she spoke. Although you are already the demon emperor, your temperament needs to be tempered. Suju took a sip of the fragrant tea and said. This is what the Lord taught. Anita bowed. Suju shook her head helplessly and no longer hid it. According to the news from the spiritual clan, in 3 days, the imperial court of the upper realm will once again gather an army to besiege the Dingtian world. Sujudeo. Boom. Lord, my demon clan missed it last time. This time, please allow my demon clan to go to meet the enemy. Anita immediately knelt down and looked at Suju and begged. The imperial court was the culprit who killed their demon clan back then. Now that their demon clan has made a comeback, they naturally want revenge. Suju glanced at the other party and smiled slightly. If I didn't have the idea of letting you go into battle, I wouldn't let you come. Lord, you mean to say? Suju nodded. If I'm not mistaken, your realm has broken through the immortal emperor and reached another level, right? Anita was a third-grade immortal emperor before, and Tian's effect is that everyone has improved to a greater realm. Which means that Anita is now more powerful than the peak immortal emperor. Yes, my lord, my subordinates have indeed surpassed the immortal emperor and reached another level. Anita nodded. When she discovered this, she was shocked, but she didn't have the slightest idea of betraying Suju. Because when she saw Suju today, she found that she still couldn't see through Suju's strength, which meant that the other party, the realm, is still stronger than hers. How many immortal emperors are there in your demon clan now? Suju asked. Reporting back to the Lord, due to the Lord descending to Tian's, there are now hundreds of powerful immortal emperors in our demon clan and thousands of immortal lords. Suju frowned when he heard this number. Although hundreds of immortal emperors are powerful, they are just the same in front of the emperor court. After all, Gumwianqi said that there are as many as 1,000 powerful immortal emperors in the emperor court. The imperial court is powerful, and there are 3 other powerful forces to help. If you demon clan goes there this time, you will probably suffer countless casualties. Sujudeo. It is the subordinates' wish to not be afraid and to be able to share the worries of their superiors. Suju nodded with satisfaction. That's good. The Spirit Clan has also recovered some strength, and the Spirit Clan will join forces with you by then. However, the strength of the 2 clans left by the Protoss in the Imperial Court has not been fully restored, and it is still difficult to deal with them. Suju said, then took out one and gave it to Anita. Keep this order. When I was wandering around, I collected a remnant soul and sealed it in this order. If you are unable to defeat me, activate this order and let this remnant soul help me, Suju said. The token he took out was naturally the god's token. He didn't know what the other party could summon after activating it. Thank you, Lord, for your help. Anita's eyes lit up. Although she didn't know how strong this remnant soul was, it was definitely not something she could compare to. You demon clan should be prepared in these 3 days. You will go to the upper realm in 3 days. Whether the imperial court can be destroyed this time depends on you. Suju waved her hand. Anita nodded, bowed, and left, her heart filled with excitement. After so many years, their demon clan finally has a chance to take revenge. I don't know if the gods will take action then. After Anita left, Suju thought to himself. The reason why he didn't go to the upper world in person was because he was waiting for the gods. As long as the gods dared to show up, he would directly use the invincibility order to kill these gods. If the gods didn't show up, he was too lazy to go to the upper world. With the order of the gods and the strength of the demons and spirits, it was easy to destroy an imperial court. In the next few days, Suju was bored and took Xiaoling with him. It was fun to travel around the mountains and rivers. Time passed, and 3 days passed. At the passage connecting the upper world to the Dingtian world, at this time, the 4 forces of the Imperial Court, the Wilderness Hall, the Demon Spirit Valley, and the Taxian sect gathered together. Gathered here. Compared with the movements of the past few days, this time the four major forces have obviously taken out their own wealth. The four forces, the immortal emperor and the powerful ones totaled nearly 5,000 people, and the immortal lord was even more powerful. 100,000, and countless other strong men. So many strong men gathered here. Although they did nothing, the color of the world still changed, as if it was foreshadowing that a violent storm was about to come. Three of you, don't forget what you promised me. Li Yuan looked at Zhou Guangyuan and the three of them and said with a smile. Li Yuan, don't worry, as long as you can destroy this ancient emperor, we will certainly not break our promise to you, Zhou Guangyuan said. However, our three forces will not take action to kill the ancient emperor this time, Ao Zifeng said. Don't worry, you three. Without your help, our imperial court is enough to destroy the ancient emperor. Li Yuan said with a smile. Let's hope so. If all the powerful men from the imperial court come out and still can't defeat the ancient emperor, if this news spreads, the entire upper world will probably laugh, Man Hai said lightly. Li Yuan sneered. He knew that these guys wanted to see the jokes in their imperial court, but how could he let these guys get their wish? Father, my son is ready to go. Li Tianyuan came to Li Yuan and said. Today, Li Yuan is wearing treasure armor and holding a golden gun. He looks like a god of war. Nephew Tianyuan recovered quickly, but our boy is still in a coma. Looking at Li Tianyuan, Zhou Guangyuan snorted coldly. Sect Master Zhou was joking, it was just that there were many treasures in my imperial court, which allowed me to wake up as soon as possible, and even break through to the realm of the immortal emperor. Li Tianyuan said. What's the use of the immortal emperor realm, Li Yuan? Is it possible that you plan to send Li Tianyuan alone to kill the ancient emperor? Ao Zifeng asked with a frown. You three, since the matter is already our imperial court's, we don't need to worry about what we do. Li Yuan said and looked at Li Tianyuan. Go, my father is waiting for your good news. Li Tianyuan nodded, and then his momentum exploded and he flew towards the passage. Rumble. But at this moment, there was a sudden vibration in the passage. Li Tianyuan was stunned and stopped with doubts. Swish swish swish. The next second, under the gaze of everyone, figures flew out from the passage. Ha ha ha, in the upper realm, my demon clan is back again. As a whistle sounded, everyone saw that countless powerful demons appeared in front of them. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 170. What happened? Why did the demons appear? Looking at the demons appearing in front of them, Li Yuan and others frowned and stood up one after another. When they thought about it, the reason why the demons are still rampant today is entirely because of the help of the ancient emperor. With the strength of the demons, it was impossible to stop their encirclement and killing. But now, the demons actually ran out on their own initiative, and after a closer look, the ancient emperor was not among them. People in the upper world never thought that my demon clan could come back again. Anita stood in front, looking at the people in front of her with a sneer. Especially after seeing Li Yuan in the crowd, Anita's eyes flashed with murderous intent. She knew that this person was the one who led the imperial court back then. The people secretly attacked their demon clan. I really didn't expect that the demon clan would come back again. The demon clan was indeed powerful back then and worthy of the title of one of the three major heavenly clans, but now. A third-grade immortal emperor stood up from the imperial court, with disdain in his eyes. Now all the strong men from their four major forces are here. The immortal emperor alone has thousands of strong men. Looking at the demons, the immortal emperor only has more than 100 people. How to fight against them? Yeah. Swish. Anita sneered, and then waved her right hand, and streams of light appeared around the third-level immortal emperor. Not good. Seeing these flashes of light, Li Yuan was shocked. It was too late to save him. Ah! The next second, under the gaze of everyone, the third-level immortal emperor was swallowed directly by the stream of light before he could react, leaving only screams. Space turbulence. Unexpectedly, the demons still have royal blood left. Li Yuan narrowed his eyes and looked at Anita and said, "In the entire demon clan, the most powerful one is the royal bloodline." He had clearly wiped out all the demon clan royals back then, but he didn't expect that there would still be some who survived. "You should be Li Yuan from the imperial court. It's all thanks to you that my demon race has become so lonely. Today, this emperor is going to take your life to comfort the spirits of my demon ancestors in heaven." Anita looked at Li Yuan and snorted coldly. "Arrogant, the demons were no match for our imperial court back then, do you think they are now? I originally wanted to go to the demon world to annihilate you demons, but I didn't expect you to come to my door. None of you can leave today. Do you really think that this is still the time when your three major heavenly clans were dominant? How can the strength of our imperial court in the upper world be shaken by the mere demon clan?" Everyone in the imperial court shouted angrily, looking at the demons with disdain. "You should be the current demon emperor of the demon clan." Li Yuan looked at Anita and said, "Yes, this emperor is the only bloodline of the devil now, so naturally he is the devil emperor." Anita said, "That's fine, as long as I kill you, this bunch of demons will be unable to move around." Li Yuan nodded. "Tianyuan, kill her." "The child obeys." Li Tianyuan said. His eyes also looked at Ada, and with a movement of his body, he came to the sky, and the aura on his body burst out. "Li Yuan, are you kidding me? Although Tianyuan's nephew has broken through to the realm of immortal emperor, I think the strength of this new demon emperor should not be underestimated. Even you and I dare not say that he can win. Do you think Tianyuan's nephew can win?" "Down." Zhou Guangyuan asked with a joking tone. "They are all peak immortal emperors." Although Anita did not burst out, they still felt the pressure. "Whether you can win it or not, you have to look at it to find out." Li Yuan smiled slightly, but he was not anxious at all. Zhou Guangyuan and others did not speak anymore, and looked towards the sky. "Lord Demon Emperor, this son is just a first-grade immortal emperor. If you ask me to take action, your hands will be dirty, so let your subordinates do it for you." Looking at Li Tianyuan, a powerful third-level immortal emperor from the demon clan said, "No problem, I feel that this son is connected by blood with Li Yuan, so he must be his heir. Even if he is only a first-grade immortal emperor, I will not let him go." Anita said, flipping her right hand, and suddenly a magic light struck towards Li Tianyuan. "Well done." Li Tianyuan said with disdain in his eyes. The spear in his hand burst out with a golden light and went straight towards Anita. Boom! The two people's methods collided, and a powerful force burst out. Ah! The next second, a scream rang out, and Li Tianyuan was hit by the magic light and flew backwards. Even a mere ant dares to challenge this emperor. Looking at the pale-faced Li Tianyuan, Anita snorted coldly. Zhou Guangyuan and others also frowned. They didn't know what Li Yuan was thinking. He actually agreed to a person who had just broken through to the immortal emperor to challenge the demons. Emperor! Isn't this looking for death? And this person is the other person's son. Is it because the other person's son died before, so he is crazy now? However, Li Yuan was not nervous when he saw this scene, but still had a smile on his face. Ha ha ha, the demon clan and the demon emperor are nothing more than this. No wonder our imperial court was able to kill you back then. Today, I, Li Tianyuan, will follow my father's example and kill the demon emperor. Boom! At this moment, Li Tianyuan, who was originally injured, suddenly laughed, his eyes filled with madness, and his strength began to increase crazily. This method is from the gods. Seeing that in just a few seconds, Li Tianyuan, who was only in the first-level immortal emperor realm, actually directly reached the 9th level Immortal Emperor level, Anita was also a little surprised. But after feeling the breath of the other party, Anita could also understand. Although she has never been in contact with the gods, the aura of the gods has long been imprinted in her blood. No wonder he has the confidence to dare to come out and fight with this emperor. It turns out that he has such means. Anita looked calm. Even if she reaches the 9th rank Immortal Emperor, how can she be her opponent? If that's all it is, it's really not enough to kill you, so let me break it. Rumble. At this time, Li Tianyuan roared angrily, and the aura on his body exploded again. The whole world was shaken, and a force that suppressed the world swept over. This power, could it be that his power has surpassed the realm of the Immortal Emperor? Feeling this power, Zhou Guangyuan and others were shocked and looked at Li Tianyuan in disbelief. As expected of the gods, a first-grade Immortal Emperor could have power beyond that of a 9th-grade Immortal Emperor. Interesting. Anita naturally also saw Li Tianyuan's power surge, but his face was still dull. The other party had power beyond the Immortal Emperor, so why didn't she? Ha ha ha, what a powerful force, let me die. Laugh. Li Tianyuan roared wildly, the spear in his hand tore through the space, and he came to Anita in the blink of an eye. Ridiculous. Anita snorted coldly and sent it out with a palm underscore.